What if everything you thought about Stranger Things was wrong? What if Vecna wasn't the true villain all along? What if there was something far older, far darker, lurking beneath the Upside Down the entire time? Something that Henry Creel drew as a boy, a creature with 3 heads, 3 minds, 3 hungers. This is the story of the timeline where Vecna was never the monster everyone feared. He was the distraction, and the real predator was waiting in the shadows the whole time. Let's rewind to Henry Creel's childhood, 1952. A small house in Nevada. Young Henry sits alone in his room, drawing. His pencil moves across the paper with intensity. Not drawings of normal things, not houses or trees or people playing. He's drawing monsters, twisted creatures with multiple heads, tentacles spreading across entire worlds. His teacher asks him about the drawings during class. Henry doesn't look up from his desk. He just whispers, "It's already here, watching, waiting." The teacher is unsettled. She calls his parents. His parents are confused. They assume it's just a disturbed child's imagination. But Henry knows something they don't. He feels it, a presence, ancient, patient, connected to everything in the Upside Down like roots of a tree. Fast forward to 1979. Henry is 001 at Hawkins Lab. Dr. Brenner has been studying him for years. Henry's powers are off the charts. He can move mountains with his mind. He can peer into other people's consciousness. But Brenner has never understood the full extent of what Henry is connected to, until one night when Henry is locked in the sensory deprivation tank, floating in darkness, no sound, no light, just Henry and his mind. And then he feels it again, the presence, stronger now, much stronger. Henry's consciousness expands outward. He reaches beyond the lab, beyond Hawkins, beyond the dimension he thought was everything. And in that moment, he touches something vast, something with multiple consciousness, woven together like a tapestry. Henry's eyes snap open in the tank. His body convulses. Alarms blare. Brenner rushes in with medics. Henry is gasping, bleeding from his nose. His eyes are wide with terror and revelation. Later, when Brenner interrogates him, Henry tries to explain what he felt. He tells Brenner, "There's something older than the Mind Flayer, older than the gates, older than dimensions themselves. A Hydra, 3 separate consciousness sharing one body, 3 heads, each one thinking independently, each one hungry for something different." Brenner doesn't believe him. He thinks Henry is losing his mind, having a breakdown. He increases Henry's medication, tightens the soteria implant. But Henry knows the truth, and he makes a decision right then. He has to protect 11, not from himself, but from what's coming. Because if the Hydra ever finds a way into Hawkins, if it ever finds 11, if it ever gets a gateway to the human world, everything ends. So, when Henry escapes the lab in 1979, when 11 unknowingly removes his soteria implant, when he kills everyone in the facility and gets banished to the Upside Down, he's not doing it out of rage. He's doing it to create a buffer, a barrier between the human world and the thing that's been waiting in the deepest parts of the Upside Down for centuries. Location: Henry falls through the gate into the Upside Down. Red lightning tears across the sky. Actions: his body twists, burns, transforms into something barely human. Thoughts: I have to survive. I have to be strong enough. The Hydra will come eventually. Emotions: his eyes widen with primal fear as he realizes the scope of what he's facing. Dialogue: whisper to himself, "God help anyone if this thing reaches Earth." He crashes into the twisted landscape of the Upside Down. Vines wrap around his legs. Creatures scatter, but deeper, below all of it, in the absolute darkness at the bottom of the Upside Down, he feels them, the 3 heads of the Hydra, watching him, assessing him. One head wants to consume him immediately. The second head wants to use him. The third head recognizes him. Because they've been connected since he was a child, drawing pictures in Nevada. Henry realizes he has a choice. He can try to fight the Hydra directly. He'll lose, there's no question. Or he can make a deal, location. Henry stands in the deepest cavern of the Upside Down. The cavern is massive. Red stone walls stretch up forever. Actions. He places his hand against the cold rock. Thoughts. If I do this, there's no going back, but there's no other option. Emotions. His whole body shakes, not from cold, from the weight of what he's about to do. Dialogue. To the three heads. I'll help you, but only if you leave the human world alone. The Hydra responds without words. Henry feels three separate consciousness pressing against his mind. The first head. Why should we listen to you? The second head. You're stronger than the creatures we control. Join us. The third head. I remember you, Henry. Even then, you knew. Henry makes his offer. He'll become the Mind Flayer, the hive mind, the controller of all creatures in the Upside Down. In exchange, he asks for one thing. The Hydra stays dormant, deep, sealed away. The three heads consider this for what feels like an eternity. Finally, they agree, because they realize Henry is more effective as a buffer than as a slave. He'll protect the barrier between worlds. He'll keep humanity on one side, the Hydra on the other. And for decades, this works. The Mind Flayer hunts. The Demogorgons hunt. The Demodogs hunt. But the Hydra sleeps. But then, in 1983, something happens. 11 makes contact with a Demogorgon. The gate opens, reality cracks, and for the first time in years, the Hydra starts to wake up. Location. The deepest trench of the Upside Down, the place where the three heads slumber. Actions. The largest head opens its eyes. Red light floods out from the pupils. Thoughts. From the first head. The barrier weakens. We can move. Emotions. Its body tenses. Muscles coil like a snake preparing to strike. Dialogue. First head. Henry has failed us. The second head awakens. Dialogue. Second head. He's been distracted by the girl. By 11. The third head opens its eyes last. Dialogue. Third head. He still thinks he can contain us. How naive. And in that moment, Henry realizes everything he's built, everything he's sacrificed, everything he's done as Vecna. It's all been a delay tactic. He can't stop the Hydra. He can only slow it down. So he makes a new plan. He needs to make the humans stronger. He needs to prepare them, because eventually the Hydra will break free. And when it does, humanity will need warriors, psychically gifted warriors. That's why Henry pushes 11 harder, why he possesses will, why he kills teenagers and opens gates. He's not trying to destroy the human world. He's trying to force it to evolve, to prepare for the real threat. Location: Hawkins Lab, the lab that holds 11 and other gifted children. Actions: Henry watches through the security cameras as 11 demonstrates her power. Thoughts: she's strong. Strong enough to maybe fight the Hydra, but only if she gets stronger. Only if she has no choice but to fight. Emotions: his jaw clenches as he makes the decision to push her further. Dialogue. To himself: I'm sorry, 11, but you're humanity's only chance. By season 4, 11 has become nearly unstoppable. The party has learned to work as a unit. Humanity has developed weapons, plans, strategies, but the cracks in the barrier are spreading. The Hydra is waking up faster than Henry anticipated. Location: Vecna sits in the attic of the upside-down Creel house. Vines writhe around him like he's being held together by threads. Actions: he closes his eyes and reaches out with his mind into the deepest trenches. Thoughts: how long do I have? Days? Weeks? Emotions. For the first time, Henry feels something like peace. He's done what he could. Dialogue. Whisper. I'm sorry, I couldn't do more. Then, in the final battle against Vecna, something unexpected happens. Max is about to die. 11 is about to break. The party is about to fall. And Vecna does something the audience doesn't understand. He stops attacking. Location. Vecna stands above Max. Vines coil around her body. Actions. He raises his hand. He could crush her, end her life, but instead, he hesitates. Thoughts. Henry's voice breaking through Vecna's monster form. She deserves to live. They all do. Emotions. For a moment, the vines relax. Tears stream down Vecna's scarred face. Dialogue. Vecna to 11. I did terrible things to prepare you. I know that now. But 11, you need to listen to me. Everything I've done, everything I've become, it was to stop something far worse. The party is confused. Vecna is supposed to be trying to kill them, but he's not. He's warning them. Dialogue. Vecna, urgent. The Hydra, the three-headed thing in the deepest part of the Upside Down. It's waking up, and I won't be able to stop it much longer. Nancy steps forward. Gun drawn. Dialogue. Nancy. Why should we believe you? Dialogue. Vecna. Because I've been lying to you, to myself, about everything. I'm not the villain. I never was. I was just the only thing standing between your world and the end of everything. In this moment, the party realizes Vecna was never their enemy. He was a prisoner, controlled by something older, something darker. And now that something is about to break free. 11 reads Vecna's mind. She sees his memories. She sees him as a boy drawing monsters. She sees his connection to the Hydra. She sees his millennia-old war against something incomprehensible. Location. Inside Vecna's consciousness. A mental space where time doesn't move normally. Actions. 11 walks toward a figure that is both Henry Creel and Vecna at the same time. Thoughts. 11. Internal. You've been fighting this your whole life, and you did it alone. Emotions. She reaches out and touches his shoulder. For the first time in decades, Vecna feels human contact that isn't violent. Dialogue. 11. You're not alone anymore. By season 5, the party realizes they need Vecna. They need his knowledge, his power, his connection to the Upside Down, because the real war is just beginning. The Hydra is breaking through the barrier. Location. Hawkins, the center of town. Multiple gates beginning to tear open. Actions. Vecna stands alongside 11 and the party. For the first time, he's not their enemy. Thoughts. Vecna. This is what I've been preparing for. This is the moment everything changes. Emotions. His scarred face is grim, but for once, he's not alone. Dialogue. Vecna to 11. When the three heads emerge, you'll see things that will break your mind. You'll see consciousness that doesn't think like humans, that doesn't feel empathy or mercy, that only hungers. Dialogue. 11. Then we'll fight it together. And as the largest head of the Hydra begins to pierce through the dimensional barrier, its three mouths opening to scream across dimensions. Everyone realizes this was never about 11 versus Vecna. This was always about humanity versus the Hydra. And Vecna? He was the only thing standing between annihilation and survival. Location: the final battlefield. Hawkins torn open, the sky bleeding red. Actions: the Hydra's first head emerges. Massive, ancient, hungry. Thoughts: everyone synchronized through 11's telepathy. This is real. This is happening. Emotions: fear, but also resolve. They've trained for this, prepared for this. They didn't know what for, but now they do. Dialogue: Vecna, as he stands beside 11. Thank you for believing me, for fighting beside me, for giving me a chance to be more than a monster. Dialogue: 11. You were never a monster, Henry. You were just trying to survive. And as the Hydra's 3 heads begin to descend on Hawkins, the true war begins. Not the war between 11 and Vecna. The war between humanity and something so old, so alien, so incomprehensibly powerful that it makes Vecna look like a child playing with toys. This is the timeline where Vecna wasn't the villain. He was the hero who became a monster to protect everyone. And in the end, he becomes the bridge between 2 worlds, fighting not against humanity, but alongside them, against the real threat, the Hydra. So what shocked you most? Did you expect Vecna to be the protector the whole time? Or did you think he was truly evil? Comment your answer below. And tell me, what Stranger Things mystery should I explore next? The true origin of the Upside Down itself? What happened to all the people who disappeared before the series started? Or the secret connection between Hawkins and other towns? Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive. And remember, sometimes the monster you fear is actually the shield protecting you from something far worse. See you in Hawkins.